Good morning. This is your weekly energy forecast for the week of June the 1st. So, if we haven't met before, I'm Sarita Myers, and I like to come on every week and just give you a little bit of an idea of the energies that are brewing up for the coming week. Now, the beautiful thing about energy, pardon me, I know I say this every week, but the beautiful thing about energy is that it's not linear. So, if you happen across this video and it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months from now, it doesn't really matter. There will still be a message in it for you. Now, I just wrapped my group program. We had our closing ceremony on Saturday night for the first round of Due North. And while we were getting ready to have really a celebration and a completion of this project, um, there was a lot of unrest going on around the world. And it was palpable, even if it wasn't close by to most of us, because my students were all over the world. We could all really feel it. And I'm still feeling it. There's a lot going on. So before we get into the message for this week, I'd really like to just take a moment to just say a prayer. And if you're someone who is non-religious, who gets like a little bit like about the word prayer, I talk to the angels. That's kind of my jam. But if that's not a word that you're comfortable with, then you can just have a moment of silence, a moment of reflection, and just be in your heart and send love. There aren't really words. This is not an easy time. Thank you, angels, for showing up for the people who are fighting the good fight. May they remain strong and sure. May they feel clarity. May they be safe. The work they are doing is hard. They are digging into the shadows well deeper than just this generation's. They are trying to undo an entire history. And it is hard work and it is tireless work. And may they never be left wanting. May they always feel held. May they never feel alone. And may they have the heart to be able to give themselves pause to recover, to rejuvenate their own light so they can continue doing this work. We're talking about these light warriors who are protesting. We're talking about the ones who are writing letters. We're talking about everybody who is showing up in these efforts, because the work they're doing is so beyond their individual needs. They are really contributing to healing of the world. Protect them, guide them, help them every way that you can. For all of this and more, we thank you, thank you, thank you, and we thank them. Thank them, thank them. Okay. I actually pulled this week's card before the call. Usually I actually shuffle while we're talking, but I knew I really wanted to be in a bit of a heart space before getting into the message. And so I pulled the card beforehand so that we could just get on with the business of getting on when it comes to this part of it, which, to be honest, feels a little bit transactional at this point. And I'm really doing this because I've committed to showing up for you guys in this way. But it doesn't feel necessarily like the best use of the airwaves. So I'm going to be really brief. I'm going to be honest, I feel a little bit murky in this message. It doesn't feel as clear as it usually does, which is interesting because I'm not using my normal deck either, which was by guidance of my guides. So from Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of the Oracle, this week's message is around serendipity. This is usually a card that is tied to the idea of good luck and good fortune, of everything coming together. But this feels for me more like things falling into place. What we're seeing right now in the world is not a cause of the last week of unrest. It is, like I said in the prayer, we're talking about generations, an entire history that is being shaken up and deconstructed to be rebuilt. And so when we think about serendipity or synchronicity as a message of things happening to come together, this feels less about luck and a lot more about intention. This is the collective who are bringing these pieces together. It's not happening to fall into place. It is created, and consciously so. It is also the coming together of all these parts, not just of the US, but of the world, where we are showing up, where we are challenging our own systems, our own beliefs, where we are willing to have uncomfortable conversations. And I've been getting this message around discomfort a lot. I think it might actually be an episode of the podcast this month, possibly even this week. Our unwillingness to get uncomfortable is creating a lot of the problems that we're having right now. We need to be open to the idea that it's not working and that we're not right. We need to see other people's viewpoints. We need to be willing to change and to shift. And so this idea of serendipity or synchronicity, this idea of luck, this doesn't feel like luck. It has the outcome of good luck where things just work out. And I do believe we are working toward a place where things are going to work out. But it's really feeling like the parts are coming together this week. And there's more work to do. It's not the time to get complacent. But it does really feel like we're in a space of everything just falling into place. Not by accident, by design. Everything has been consciously chosen. So my invitation to you with this message would be, what is your contribution? And not everything has to be going out on the front lines and protesting. Sometimes it's expression through art. Sometimes it's rallying the troops within your own community. Sometimes it's just being willing to have a conversation with that racist relative who's really awkward. But there is a little part of you, if you're somebody who resonates with my work, there is a very good chance that you identify as something like a light worker, whatever language you want to use. And if that is the case, this is your invitation to show up and shine the light, because we are in some shadowy times. And we can't just sit back and let other people fight this. It's our job too. If we are here as warriors of light, then we need to show up. So if this is a time, if this is even a week where the pieces are moving together so that things can start to move towards a resolution, what pieces are you moving? How can you contribute to that end game? Something to ponder. And if you're comfortable doing so, then share it in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear how you are committing to showing up for this cause. I will see you next week around this time. Sending you lots of love always. Take care.